One more time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare सभी लोग हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे संकीर्तन की। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Come on, everyone together.
Hare Rama,
Loudly.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Taaliyan
Krishna Krishna Hare
जोर से
Hare Rama Rama
हरि बोल
Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hari Bol
Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hari Bol
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once more.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जोर से.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
जोर से.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha
Hari Bol.
Radhe.
Jaya Radha, Gopinath Radha, Gopinath Radhe.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jaya Radha, Gopinath Radha, Gopinath Radhe.
Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe.
Jaya Shama, Shama Sundar Rama, Shama Sundar Radhe.
Jaya Shri Gopal Shri Gopal Shri Gopal Jaya Shri Gopal.
Jaya Shri Gopal, Shri Gopal, Shri Gopal, Jaya Shri Gopal.
Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe.
Jaya Radha, Madan Mohan Radha, Madan Mohan Radhe.
Jaya Radha Ras Bihari Radha Ras Bihari Radhe.
Jaya Radha, Ras Bihari Radha, Ras Bihari Radhe.
Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev.
Zor se.
Gurudev Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की Hare Krishna. Did everyone enjoy the kirtan? I was watching only the front benchers were singing and clapping. सारे back benchers mobile पे थे. अब बाद में everybody in the behind will be singing. Will be passing the mic. चलेगा? चलो. इसमें भी आगे वाले हाँ बोल रहे हैं. Hare Krishna, good evening and welcome to the Chetana festival. Thank you all for coming today. As we've already begun the Chetana festival with our beautiful, beautiful kirtan, so let us give a big round of applause for all the Chetana girls here. I am sure many of you all are new and you all are not accustomed to the ISKCON rules and regulations. Whenever we say applause, we chant 3 rounds of Hari Bol. So can you all do it with me together? Raise your hands. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So do you all know the topic for today? Anybody? Not the front benchers, please. Anybody in the behind? Nobody? Yes? Correct, absolutely. A big round of applause for her. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Good. So before we begin today's class, we will be enacting a beautiful, beautiful drama here. The topic for the drama is same, the woman who rebuilt. So let us begin with the drama. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Today we are going to present a drama on the teachings of Mahabharata. So, आप सबको याद होगा पिछले चेतना में हमने कुछ प्रसंग देखे थे महाभारत से और उसमें से कुछ सीखा था। और हम ये भी जानते हैं कि कैसे महाभारत में चौसर यानी द्यूत क्रीड़ा हुई और उसके बाद पांडवों को और द्रौपदी को वनवास जाना पड़ा। तब हम देखेंगे कि वहाँ पे वो किन साधु संतों से मिलते हैं और उन्हें क्या क्या शिक्षाएं प्राप्त होती है। और हम ये भी देखेंगे कि द्रौपदी की पवित्रता सतीत्वता कितनी थी कि उन्हें कितने सारे आशीर्वाद मिलते हैं। तो पहले प्रसंग में अब ये वनवास के लिए निकल पड़े हैं और इन्हें वहाँ पर मिलते हैं शौनक ऋषि।
प्रणाम मुनिवर।
प्रणाम। तो महाराज युधिष्ठिर, मुझे पता है कि आप सबके साथ बहुत अनुचित हुआ है, किंतु आप शोक ना करें।
इस स्थिति में कोई शोक न करे तो और क्या कर सकता है मुनिवर?
महाराज, परिस्थिति तो प्रतिकूल है, किंतु शोक करने से क्या लाभ? आप दुख करेंगे तो आपको बीमारियां हो जाएगी। इसलिए आपको ध्यान रखना होगा, ये जो वक्त है ये आपकी तैयारी का समय है। और ये दुख क्यों है? ये आसक्तियों की वजह से और अपेक्षाओं की वजह से है। और ये तो आप जानते ही होंगे कि आसक्तियाँ आपको कमज़ोर बनाती है, जबकि वैराग्य आपको शक्ति प्रदान करता है। ये सूत्र हमेशा ध्यान में रखना।
इसका कोई उपाय भी होगा फिर तो?
अवश्य है। चाहे स्थिति अनुकूल हो या प्रतिकूल, उसमें आप संतुष्ट रहे। अगर संतुष्ट रहेंगे तो आपको दुख नहीं होगा।
धन्यवाद।
ऐसे ही कुछ दिन वह वन में कहीं दूर प्रस्थान कर रहे थे और वहाँ उन्हें मिलते हैं दौम्य ऋषि।
प्रणाम मुनिवर।
प्रणाम। महाराज युधिष्ठिर, क्या आपके मन में कोई प्रश्न है?
मुनिवर, हम वनवास पर निकले हैं, हमें भोजन और शक्ति की आवश्यकता है। इसका कोई निवारण चाहिए कि जिससे हमें किसी भी तरह की समस्या ना हो भोजन को लेकर।
अवश्य, शक्ति की आवश्यकता तो होगी ही। तो सृष्टि के प्रारंभ से जीव जब भटक रहा था तो प्रकृति ने उसकी शक्ति के लिए बहुत सारे प्रबंध किए हैं, जैसे कि सूर्य की शक्ति, उसके बाद ये फलाहार और फिर पका हुआ अन्न। तो मेरा आपसे अनुरोध रहेगा कि आप सूर्यदेव से प्रार्थना करें कि वो आपको इस वनवास के कठिन समय पर शक्ति प्रदान करें।
सूर्यदेव, अब आप ही हमारी सहायता कर सकते हैं। ओम सूर्याय नमः।
इनकी प्रार्थना सुनकर सूर्यदेव प्रकट हुए और इन्हें अक्षय पात्र दे गए।
ये लो द्रौपदी।
अरे वाह, ये तो बहुत ही शुभ हुआ है पुत्री द्रौपदी। ये जो अक्षय पात्र तुम्हें मिला है उसमें अनंत भोजन पका सकती हो, किंतु सूर्यदेव की ये सूचना अवश्य याद रखना कि एक बार तुम इसमें अन्न पकाओगी और सभी को खिलाओगी, उसके पश्चात तुम इसे पाना और फिर एक बार हाथ धो लोगी, तो उसके बाद उस दिन और अन्न इसमें नहीं पका पाओगी। और ये जो अक्षय पात्र है वो आपके सबकी शक्ति के लिए स्रोत रहेगा। और ये द्रौपदी की पवित्रता और सतीत्वता है कि जिसके कारण यह अक्षय पात्र आपको प्राप्त हुआ है।
धन्यवाद।
कुछ दिनों पश्चात भगवान श्री कृष्ण पांडवों से और द्रौपदी से मिलने वन में जाते हैं और वे बहुत ही क्रोधित हैं।
कष्ट में बिल्कुल नहीं देख सकता। बहुत दिन हो गए पांडवों और द्रौपदी से मिलाता हूँ। कैसे हो भ्राताओं और मेरी सखी?
गोविंद, कहाँ थे आप?
उठो सखी।
आप कहाँ थे? हमारी सहायता करने क्यों नहीं आए? हम पर कितना संकट आया था, हम वन में आ गए, कहाँ चले गए थे आप?
आपातकालीन युद्ध के कारण मैं नहीं आ पाया, परंतु इसका असल कारण तो यह है कि मुझे अगर विश्व को कोई सीख देनी हो तो मैं उसे भक्तों के माध्यम से ही देता हूँ। इसी कारण मैं नहीं आया। और यह युद्ध चाहे मन का हो या रण का हो, तैयारी तो करनी ही पड़ती है। यह 13 वर्ष का वनवास तुम्हें युद्ध की तैयारी करने के लिए ही मिला है।
इसका कुछ तो परिणाम होगा ना माँ?
परिस्थिति कैसी भी हो, संभाव रहना चाहिए। 13 वर्ष का तुम 12 वर्ष तुम्हें वनवास सहना है और 1 वर्ष का अज्ञातवास। इस वनवास में तुम्हें युद्ध की तैयारी करनी है, साधु संतों के पास जाना है और तुम्हें हरि कथा सुननी है। इससे तुम्हें शक्ति मिलेगी और तुम्हारा मनोबल भी बढ़ेगा। चिंता ना करो, सब ठीक हो जाएगा, यह मेरा आश्वासन है। मैं सदैव तुम्हारे साथ हूँ।
धन्यवाद।
फिर कुछ दिनों पश्चात पांडवों से मार्कंडेय ऋषि मिलते हैं। प्रणाम। महाराज युधिष्ठिर, क्या आपके मन में कोई शंका है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं।
शंका तो यही है कि हम इस वनवास का निवारण कैसे करें, कैसे जिए।
अब परिस्थिति ऐसी है तो उसका सामना तो आपको करना ही होगा, किंतु इस क्षण में आप श्री राम जी की लीलाओं का स्मरण कर सकते हैं कि उन्होंने कितनी क्षमाशीलता दिखाई। तो वैसे ही आपको भी आपके भ्राताओं के प्रति क्षमाशीलता का भाव दिखाना चाहिए और आप सभी को बहुत धैर्य रखना होगा। और उससे भी आगे जाकर स्मरण रखिए कि आप हरि के भक्त हैं, तो भविष्य में आपकी विजय तो निश्चित है।
धन्यवाद। मुनिवर ने क्षमाशीलता की बात तो सच ही कही है। वैसे
आर्य, ये आप क्या कह रहे हो? आप उन्हें क्षमा करने का निर्णय कैसे ले सकते हो? क्या आप भूल गए मेरे साथ क्या हुआ?
द्रौपदी, क्या तुम्हें महाराज बलि की कथा ज्ञात नहीं? महाराज बलि भी प्रहलाद के वंशज थे, इसी कारण से उन्हें क्षमा प्राप्त हुई थी। और कौरव, वह हमारे भ्राता है, वह शुरुआत से ही हमारे शत्रु नहीं है। हमें क्षमा करना चाहिए उन्हें एक बार।
पर उनका पाप कितना बड़ा है, उन्हें तो दंड मिलना ही चाहिए, युद्ध तो होना ही चाहिए।
द्रौपदी, तुम क्रोध में हो और क्रोध में मनुष्य को कोई भी निर्णय नहीं लेना चाहिए। क्रोध में मनुष्य मौन रहे वही उचित रहता है। और द्रौपदी, तुम तो स्त्री हो, स्त्री का हृदय काफ़ी बड़ा होता है, उनमें क्षमाशीलता का गुण होता है। क्षमा कर दो।
परंतु आप युद्ध टालना क्यों चाहते हो?
भ्राताश्री, आप ऐसा कैसे कह सकते हैं कि हमें क्रोध नहीं करना चाहिए? आप मेरा प्रण भूल गए क्या? मैंने प्रण लिया था कि मैं उन 100 कौरवों का वध करूंगा और दुशासन का हाथ तोड़कर उसकी छाती फाड़कर खून पीऊंगा और उसी रक्त से द्रौपदी का केस धोऊंगा। और आप हमें बताएं, जो हमारे साथ हुआ, जो आपने किया, क्या उचित था?
भीम, मैं धर्मराज यमराज का पुत्र हूँ, इसी कारण से मुझे भी धर्मराज कहा जाता है। और मैंने जो कहा, मैंने जो किया, वही राजा के लिए उचित होता है। एक राजा कभी भी किसी चुनौती से पीछे नहीं हटता, फिर वो चुनौती युद्ध की हो या चौसर की।
पर भ्राताश्री, 64 खेलने में कौन सा धर्म का पालन हुआ था।
भीम, आप सभी मेरे अपने हो और आप सभी को मैंने दांव पर लगा दिया, वो भी मैंने धर्म के कारण ही किया। फिर वो चाहे मामा शकुनी की चाल हो, जिसका परिणाम हमने सोचा था वैसा नहीं निकला, परंतु चिंता ना करो, हमारे साथ मुनिवरों का आशीर्वाद है और श्री कृष्ण ने भी तो हमें शुभकामनाएं दी है। उनके रहते कैसे कुछ अनुचित हो सकता है। भविष्य में हम युद्ध अवश्य लड़ेंगे और युद्ध में विजय भी हमारी होगी।
उचित है।
तो आप सबने देखा कि कैसे विकट परिस्थिति में अलग अलग प्रसंगों पर पांडव और द्रौपदी अलग अलग साधु संतों के संग प्राप्त करते रहे, भगवान श्री कृष्ण का आशीर्वाद भी लेते रहे और उन्होंने धैर्य, क्षमाशीलता, सहनशीलता दिखाई और द्रौपदी की पवित्रता और सतीत्व से उन्हें बहुत सारे आशीर्वाद भी मिले। तो इस सब से हमें ये सब सीखने मिलता है कि विकट परिस्थिति में हमें दिव्य ज्ञान अवश्य लेना चाहिए और साधुओं का संग करना चाहिए। हरे कृष्णा।
Hari Bol. Let us thank all the girls for the beautiful message through this beautiful drama. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Thank you, girls. So, Sakhis, today we are going to speak about, in fact, hear about a very, very powerful woman. A woman who changed her life, who rebuilt her life. And she did that through lots and lots of worries, tensions, problems, atrocities. She not only changed her life, she changed the course of world. She changed dharma. So to hear about that today, we have to hear it from none other than another powerful lady. I am talking about the speaker of today's Chetana program, Dr. Uma Pallavi Pothu. Let us give a big round of applause for her. I would request Mataji to please come on the dais. We are requesting Nandini to please welcome Mataji with Radharani's garland. Let us proudly chant Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So Mataji has come all the way from Hyderabad, and along with her she's got beautiful disciples from Hyderabad. So welcome all of you to ISKCON. Just to give you a short introduction of Mataji, I would like to start with her. She's come from a traditional South Indian family in Andhra Pradesh. She's joined the Hare Krishna movement in the year 2005 during her internship at Osmania Medical College and Hospital at Hyderabad. Ever since then, she has been active in youth preaching, conducting systematic courses and training young girls across India and overseas. An author, a speaker, a life coach, a psychologist, Dr. Pallavi brings in her varied academic experience into teaching Shastras. To make the scriptures relevant to the current generation, to you and me, is a central focus. She's also authored the book, The Woman Who Rebuilt, the authentic tale of Draupadi with 8 empowering lessons. She has done research on mantra meditation at AIIMS, Rishikesh, and is currently pursuing her PhD in Indian knowledge systems and medical health applications at IIT Mandi. She currently offers Vedic courses at IITs, BITS Pilani, and other educational institutions. As a Bhakti Shastri teacher, she also conducts regular weekly sessions on core philosophy. There's more. She heads the Girls' Voice of Satellite Centers at ISKCON Hyderabad. She and her husband, His Grace Sudhama Gopal Das, serve as official counselors at ISKCON. They have a 7-year-old cute daughter. So let us all welcome Mataji and request her to please begin today's class. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. That was quite a generous introduction. I thought it would be more precise. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So it's an absolute honor to be at the Radha Gopinath temple. I lived in Chowpatty for a year back in the year 2015. So this is also my home along with all of you. And so today's topic, as has been announced, yes. Okay, so before we begin the topic, I would just like to ask, what do you know about Draupadi? When you say the name Draupadi, it strikes a sensitive chord in the heart of every Indian. So when you hear the name Draupadi, what does it remind you of? Patience. Okay, somebody said patience. Tolerance. Yes? Trust. Okay. Strong. Okay. Pardon? Purity. Excellent. Yes? Faith. Amazing answer. Chastity. Brilliant. Anything? Okay, she was the main person for the Mahabharata. So we have to carefully word this because it's a source of a lot of controversies. But I can explain that in the due course. Okay, so it's wonderful to churn out some excellent qualities of Queen Draupadi. And before we begin our sessions, let us enter into prayers and then let us begin. Together. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namaom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So as we begin the lecture, it is said that in this world there is nothing more stronger than a woman who has rebuilt herself. So all of you, I mean generally girls and especially preteens, they're very fond of something called fairy tales, right? Not so realistic, but they're very amusing, enthralling, thrilling, yes? Why? Especially in fairy tales, the tales about princess, they're very fascinating, right? How many of us read fairy tales and are fascinated about the stories of princesses? Yes, very fascinating, right? So from the not so real world, let's enter into reality. Let's discuss about some famous queens in the recent history. Okay? So I thought I will just show you a picture. Can you name some queens in the recent past that you know of? Yes? Jhansi Lakshmi Bai. Yes, Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi, very famous. And? Rani Padmavati. Yes. And? Ahilya. Yes, Ahilya Devi. Yeah, she's also very famous. From India, any queens whom you know from? Queen Victoria, yes. Very powerful queen. She's so powerful that the whole era that she reigned in the Britain is named after her. It was called the Victorian era. Yes. She was so powerful because under her reign, the whole British Empire was rid of slavery. She's brought some amazing political reformations. Very powerful lady. Yes, Queen Victoria. Any more? Queen Elizabeth, yes. Elizabeth I and Elizabeth II, whose reign is the longest existing in this world actually. Longest reign so far. Yes, Queen Elizabeth. And have you heard of the Catherine the Great? Indira Gandhi, yes, very, very powerful Prime Minister. Yes. And even her contemporary, Margaret Thatcher. Have you heard of her? The Iron Lady. Yeah, these are all very famous and very powerful women of the recent history. Have you heard of the Queen Catherine the Great? Not the Catherine of Shakespeare, but Catherine the Great. This lady, interestingly, she is German, born in Germany, but she's eventually become the Queen of Russia. Yeah? And under her rule, the borders of Russia has expanded into 3 continents. Yes, and her period is called the golden period of the entire Russia as such. So these are some powerful women in the recent past. Anybody from history background here? History or arts? Okay. They can actually do a research on this, the queens of the recent past. Yes. Okay. Have you heard of Cleopatra? Where does she hail from? Egypt, yes. She is also very famous. Yeah, she's in fact one of the last of the Egyptian pharaohs. After her, the Roman rule has begun. And she is known for, not just for her beauty, but also for her acumen and her intelligence. In her period, Egypt has seen a lot of economic, step up. Yeah, she's also very, very famous, Cleopatra. Anybody else that you know of? Okay. So these are few queens that you have heard of or maybe not heard of. I'll tell you some queens from India. Okay, there is one queen, her name is Velu Nachiyar. Because I'm coming from South India, I'm talking about some queens from South India. Okay, have you heard of this lady, Velu Nachiyar? So actually there is a stamp, which is, I'll show that picture. This Velu Nachiyar, she's one of the first and foremost queens who has rebelled against the East India Company in India. Rani Velu Nachiyar. Okay, the place that I come from, Telangana, very close to it is another powerful queen. Does anybody know who she is? Rani Rudramadevi. Yes. She is, coming from the Kakatiya dynasty. Yeah. She is also known for her amazing power, strength. During her period, there is a historian. His name is Marco Polo, who visited India. And he was stunned by the amount of power, the command that she had. And he wrote elaborately about her rule and her sovereignty. So these are some very, very, very powerful queens that the world has seen in the recent past. Yeah, they've also shown some more. So how many of you have heard of these queens that I just spoke of? How famous are they? Very few of us. How many of you know Draupadi? All of us. Yes? And she lived 5,000 years ago. Hardly any of us, a handful of us knew about the queens who are just coming in the recent past, but everybody knows about Draupadi who lived 5,000 years ago. How is that? And why is that? So this is simply what is like the conversation between Ramananda Raya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the greatest fame a person can have? What is the greatest fame a person? We all are behind fame, right? Like be it the number of likes we get, yeah, the number of views we have on our Insta, in social media. What are we running after? Something like fame, yeah. But what is Draupadi's fame? 5,000 years ago. And till date, everybody knows about her, everybody discusses about her, and talks about her, and wants to know about her. So the greatest fame, as spoken by Ramananda Raya to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the fame of being a devotee of Krishna. And that is the fame of Draupadi. That is why till date she has been spoken about. And all of us know, and we don't know about the queens of our own India. Yeah. So there is something called, So what makes knowing about Draupadi special? So for example, you can discuss about any of these queens, and there are quite a number of twists and turns in their lives. And if you really analyze their lives, you do get some lessons of positive psychology. Be it Queen Victoria or Elizabeth or anybody's life. Just search for it and you will find something. Then what is special about exclusively learning and knowing about Draupadi and her history and her biography? How is it different? It's a question. Why can't we learn about, let's say, Queen Victoria or Queen Catherine the Great, the Lady of Russia? Why should we know about Draupadi? How is it different? You got my question? Yeah? How does it make a difference? There are so many women whose lives are an inspiration, an example, and they can really empower us. But what is special? So? So? Okay. Because she took shelter of Krishna, okay. Okay, that's an essay answer. For a short answer question, that's an essay answer. Well, that's very nice, yes. She really stood strong, yeah, when things went against her. Yes. So basically, there is something called, in the Adi Parva of Mahabharata, speaks about something called Katha Tattva. Okay? What are the qualities of a true story? Okay? We hear about so many stories, right? But what should be the quality of a true story? Yeah? And Mahabharata Adi Parva explains about 6 such qualities. Okay? There is a small memory test at the end of the class. So I'll ask questions and whoever answers has a special gift. Okay? So this Katha Tattva of Mahabharata speaks about how many qualities of a good story? 6. So what is the first quality? The first quality is that a good story is hridya. What is hridya? Thank you. How do I make it full screen? Full screen. You know how to make it full screen?
This one?
Yeah. So meanwhile, these are the, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so these are the pictures of these ladies which I was speaking about. The first one here is Catherine, Queen Zenoba, and Queen Victoria, whom you spoke about. So Wilhelmina, she's another queen of Netherlands who actually ascended the throne when she was 10 years old. 10 years old, she became the queen. And in her reign, they saw the World War I and World War II. So she's also a very powerful lady. So this is whom I'm speaking about, Rani Velu Nachiyar. And what you're seeing there is actually a stamp that is on her, based on her, persona. So this is Queen Cleopatra and, Empress Suiko. She's a famous empress of Japan. Yeah. And she was very powerful lady. Under her rule, she propagated Buddhism. Yeah, it made her the state official religion. Okay, so I was talking about the Katha Tattva of Mahabharata, which has 6 qualities. So number 1 is Hridya. What is Hridya? Hridya means that story should captivate everyone's heart. Okay? So Mahabharata is such a story that the more number of times you hear it, the more number of times you feel like really hearing it again. The second is Apurva. Apurva is the listener should feel, oh, I've never heard of this ever before. This is such an amazing story. This is so exciting. Story should be like that. Apurva. Third is not just Hridya and Apurva. I think stories like Harry Potter will make for the first 2, Hridya and Apurva. Okay? But they can't make it for the third one. What is it? They should give us cumulative knowledge about our dharma, artha, kama and moksha. Religiosity, that is the art of prosperity, pleasures and liberation. Stories should also give us that. And not just that, most importantly, the fourth one, the stories should take one closer to life's goal. That's when it's called a good story. Yeah, we've been hearing stories right from childhood, but what's a good story? Is the one which takes one closer to life's goal. What's the fifth one? The most important, which actually makes the story of Mahabharata apart from, the story of all the other queens, is the story should be able to remove the sins, papa prakshalan. This is what is a differentiating factor. Yes, You hear about the queens of the past or anybody else. Does it have the potency to wash away our sins or sinful tendencies? No. But a real story should have that power to remove the sins. Then, and the last one is it should empower the listener to overcome one's lower tendencies. So these are the 6 qualities of a true story. And Mahabharata is such a story. It has all these 6 qualities, which you hardly see in any of the other stories. That's the difference. So intelligence lies in where are we investing our time? Yeah. What kind of stories am I reading? What am I watching? What am I taking through my senses? Are they good for me? Are they taking me closer to my life's goal? Are they helping me deal with my lower tendencies? In the earlier periods, there were no psychologists. Why? There are itihasas. Simply by reading the itihasas, people could equip themselves with all the life skills that are necessary to lead a very strong and meaningful life. Yeah. So the Mahabharata is such a glorious scripture that it has all these 6 qualities. And so knowing about the story of Draupadi is thus different from knowing about the story of any other queen. So having said this, I just wanted to say that when the last session was given by Her Grace Radhe Rani Mataji, I often go through her Chetana lectures. She's a very amazing speaker. She once said in the class a very important and interesting point: how do we define success? The way we define success is different for men and for women. Men define success through their achievements. They feel accomplished by their achievements. But women feel accomplished by the number of relationships they have. This is how the definition of success is different for men and women. So, and Draupadi is emblem. She's an emblem of successful relationships. So the story of Draupadi is vast, it's oceanic, but to keep it crisp and so that I don't go over time, I have made an acronym of Draupadi, and each of the alphabet is a very important relationship she had in the life and how she led that, how she made that relationship successful. Any guesses what does D stand for, the relationship of Draupadi? Not the quality, the relationship. Daughter, no, the name of the person. Name of the person. Who is the person in Draupadi's life whose name starts with D? Let's not start with Dhritarashtra, that's Gita, which starts with Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Okay, so many Ds. I heard Duryodhana, I heard Drupad. Yes, Drupad Maharaj. That's how Draupadi's life starts. D for Drupad Maharaj. Okay. So for some time, I know you all have probably watched the Mahabharata of Star Plus, but the real story is quite different from what it is. So Drupad Maharaj is he's the great father of Draupadi. In fact, the scriptures say the respect of women depends on 6 credentials. What are those 6 credentials? Number 1, it depends on her birth. Number 2, it depends on the family in which she is married to. Number 3, her respect comes from her in-laws. Number 4, her respect comes from her husband. Number 5, her respect comes from her children. And number 6, her respect comes from the support she receives from her maternal home, even after marriage. These are the 6 factors which define the credentials for a woman's respect. And exceptionally, Draupadi excelled in all these 6. And especially the 6th one, receiving the support of her parents even after her marriage. There was a situation in the Mahabharata where post-incognito, it's a wonderful drama that has been done by the Chetana Festival girls. Yeah. So after the period of incognito, after the 13 years of exile, there is a discussion during which whether to fight or not. Amongst the Pandavas, 4 of them vote for peace and only 1 votes for war. Any guesses who is that one person who voted for war? No. It's not Bhim. It's not Yudhishthira. It's not Arjuna. Pandavas. We're talking about Pandavas. Who else? It's not Nakul. Sahadev. It's only, of the 5 Pandavas, only Sahadev opts for war, and all the 4 Pandavas, including Bhim, who took big vows. What are the vows that Bhim has taken? Yes, he will tear open the heart of Dushasana and drink his blood. Yeah, this is the vow taken by Bhim. What else? Or he'll kill all the 100 Kauravas are going to be killed by me. What else are the vows he has taken? Duryodhan, very strong vows. And Bhima's vow. And he said, let there be peace. Can you imagine what would Draupadi feel? Yes, at that time, in tears, she approached Krishna. And, she showed her hair to Krishna and the ends that have been snapped because of the rough handling of Dushasana in the Kurusabha. And she tells, oh Achyuta, when you are going as a peace messenger to Hastinapur, do not forget what happened to me. And she was like, feels something, lump in her throat. And she said, if none of the Pandavas are going to fight the war, me, along with my old father Drupada, my brother Drishtadyumna, and my sons and Abhimanyu, we alone will go and wage a war against the Kauravas. This was the support, she felt, she took for granted from her maternal home. Yes. So that was why, and she says that, and this is the reason why Draupadi deserves so much respect. And such was the, connection that she had with her family of Drupad Maharaj and Drishtadyumna. And who is Drishtadyumna? Who is Drishtadyumna? Brother. And also, what is he in the whole Kurukshetra war? What was he assigned? Commander-in-chief, appointed by none other than the war strategist, Lord Krishna himself. Yeah, what a key role he played. He's born to kill Drona, not Bhishma. Yeah. Drona. Yeah. Actually, Drupad and Drona had that. He was born for the purpose of actually killing Guru Drona. So this is how, so I'll show you the pictures. So that's Drishtadyumna there. And that's Draupadi. Yeah, they were born together. And yeah, so that's, somebody said, Drishtadyumna killing Drona, Guru Drona. So Drupada, actually, the very birth of Draupadi, it was the seed of the birth of Draupadi took place in a war field. What was the seed of Draupadi's birth? Drupada's appreciation for Arjuna. Drupada had a lot of appreciation for Arjuna. And where did he develop that appreciation? In the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So when, not Kurukshetra, I'm sorry, in the battlefield where all the Pandavas are fighting against Drupada as their Guru Dakshina. Yeah. So Drupada was defeated badly in the hands of Arjuna in that fight. Yeah. Anybody, any warrior who is defeated by an opponent, how does he feel? Yeah. Embarrassed. Okay. How else? Revengeful. Yeah. But what did Drupada feel for Arjuna? He felt if I had a daughter, I would have married her to him. So this is Arjuna's charisma. Even enemy can admire him. Yeah. So when Arjuna defeated Drupada, he had this intense desire. If I would have had a daughter, I would have gotten her married to Arjuna. So with this desire, actually, he went on to perform post-war. He went on to perform with the help of two great Brahmanas, Yaja and Upayaja. They performed a major fire sacrifice. He had two intentions in his heart. One was admiration for Arjuna, and the other is vengeance towards Drona. So the seed of his admiration for Arjuna brought the fire princess Draupadi. That was her very birth. That was the seed of her birth. So whatever is the intent of the parents at the time of conception actually bears fruit in the personality of the child. So this was the intent of Drupada Maharaj. Appreciation, admiration for Arjuna. He wanted somebody who could be given to Draupadi in marriage. So that was her glorious birth and the relationship with Drupada Maharaj. That is why after Draupadi was born, Drupada was initially very happy because with a lot of endeavor, he literally menially serves Yaja and Upayaja for 1 year to make them agree to perform this huge sacrifice. And when this sacrifice was performed and when Draupadi walks out, he feels very happy, but at the same time, very sad. Why was he feeling sad? Because it was a period of time when actually Pandavas were thought to have been killed in the fire accident. What was that fire accident? Anybody knows? Yeah? Lakshagriha, yes. So he was like, I performed this sacrifice so that I can have a daughter who will marry Arjuna. Now I hear news that Pandavas have left this world. So Drupada was in such anxiety. Yeah. Then his priest comes and tells that, I'm seeing good omens. There is no inauspiciousness for the Pandavas. Declare a Swayamvara. And wherever they are, they will definitely come. So based on that faith in the words of the Brahmana, he announces the Swayamvara. So this was Draupadi's relationship with her father Drupad and brother Drishtadhyumna. Okay, so what does R stand for? The next alphabet, R. Let me see how much you can guess. D for Drupad Maharaj. R for? Any guesses? Very difficult to guess? Okay. Okay, it's difficult to guess, but you'll be very happy with the answer. Yes, R for Rasaraj Krishna. Yes, what is Draupadi's relationship with Krishna? How many of you are eager to know? Okay, yes. So, Draupadi had a very, very heart-to-heart relationship with Lord Krishna. It's beautifully described here how, we have performed this act, Yudhishthira Maharaj, and how Krishna came when Draupadi actually called out for him. And yesterday was Akshaya Tritiya. It is your day of, actually marks the day when, of the Akshaya Patra, from which a lot of unlimited food has been produced. And how when Durvasa Muni with his 1,000 disciples came, Krishna came and he honors one grain and he feels satisfied. And Yasmin Tushte Jagat Tishtam. And when Krishna was satisfied, all the 10,000 disciples were satisfied. So that was a pastime that happened, and Akshaya Tritiya is a day when one remembers this pastime. So Krishna was that, very, very important person in Draupadi's life who had been there for her every time, and when she was in the greatest need. So I will tell a small story. Today, somebody played the role of Markandeya Rishi. Who was that? Who's Rishi Markandeya? Yes. So I'll tell you some interesting story about Rishi Markandeya that is related to this pastime. Lord Krishna often tells that I feel very indebted to Draupadi for the way she called out for me. Imagine when the Lord himself says, I'm indebted. Why is that? Draupadi just called out once. And why is it that Krishna feels so indebted for that? So, in relation to this is, there is a story in Padma Purana of Rishi Markandeya. So, where I'm doing my PhD right now at IIT Mandi. Mandi is in Himachal Pradesh. So, where I stay, very close to that is the Markandeya Rishi Ashram. It's actually a 20 minutes trek from where I'm studying. So, Rishi Markandeya, what is he famous for? Vattapathasai. But what is the special boon he has? He has a very, 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 very long life. Yeah, he got the blessings from Lord Shiva. So once Rishi Markandeya was on the bank of Ganges, Ganga. So on the bank of Ganga, Rishi Markandeya was, along with Rishi Markandeya, so many other sages gathered to discuss about the welfare of people in general. So at that time, everybody who came, they've offered full prostrated respects to Rishi Markandeya because he was very exalted, very old, living for kalpas. At that time, his age was 7 kalpas. Yeah, kalpa is equal to, anybody knows the calculation of 1 day of Brahma? So kalpa is like very huge lifespan. It's equal to many, many yugas together. So this Rishi Markandeya, when he was walking, he saw one person, a small boy. He was 7-year-old. So as soon as he saw him, he offered his obeisances to this 7-year-old boy. And what is the name of this boy? No, not Krishna. He's Parashara. Okay, he's Rishi Parashara Muni. At that time, he was just a 7-year-old boy. So why is that a personality who is 7 kalpas old offer respects, that to dandavats, to a 7-year-old boy? So not only you and me, everybody in the assembly was shocked. So they asked why. So he said one thing, that Parashara might be just 7-year-old boy, but his intensity of remembrance, smarana, of Lord Krishna is very, very high. So one's age is not calculated by the number of years one has lived, but the number of moments one has remembered Krishna. The moments one has remembered Krishna is the real life. And Draupadi's, that smaranam about Krishna was very, very intense. And it reached that crescendo at that time in the Kurusabha when she was assaulted and when she had no other shelter. And that intensity with which she remembered Krishna, it really touched the heart of Krishna so deeply that he feels indebted to her. There's this beautiful song, right? Karuna kari Draupadi pukari. Know that? Pattani patagaye vanvari. निरख रही नर नारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम जय माधव मदन मुरारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम जय केशव कलिमल हारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम. None of you heard this song? Okay, so that's about how Draupadi has called out for Krishna and Krishna has given her unlimited sari. It's a Braj bhajan, very sweet one. So, in fact, even at Kamyavan, when Krishna comes, after the episode of the whole traumatic situation of what happened in the Asat Sabha, Draupadi goes, along with the Pandavas, they go to a forest. The name of the forest is Kamyavan, what you can see there. At that time, till that time, She didn't express her pain with anybody. You know, what happened in the Kurusabha? What happened in the Kurusabha? She was humiliated. There has never, no one has witnessed a greater adharma than what has happened in the Kurusabha, of how Duryodhana and Dushasan dealt with Draupadi. And after that, she went to Kamyavan. Draupadi and the Pandavas, they went to the forests. And there in the forest, the first person whom she sees is Drishtadyumna, her brother. The moment she sees her brother Drishtadyumna, tears flow out of her eyes. And after that, she moves ahead and there she sees Krishna, seated amongst the Pandavas. So there's a very beautiful conversation that happens between Draupadi and Lord Krishna. And through her example, very interestingly, the Mahabharata shows how Draupadi approaches Krishna. Very important. Sometimes we are faced with difficult situations in life, especially, let's say, reversals. What we expect did not happen. Let's say we are expecting 100 or 90 out of 100, we got 20. Okay, it's quite a reversal. And you thought that you would be selected for this position, but somehow somebody else. Reversal. Yeah. So in such reversals, what's the first thing we do? Especially we are devotees. What's the first thing we do? Yeah. Blame the personality there. Why me? Why did it happen to me? And Krishna, I've been chanting. I even came to Mangalarti. See, I sacrificed my sleep. Yeah. But still, how could you do this to me? Yeah. What does our conversation with Krishna start with? A complaint. Right? But what did Draupadi go through? Can we compare that with anything with what we have gone through? No comparison. No comparison. Draupadi is the empress. She's not even the queen. What's the difference between the queen and empress? Difference between queen and empress. Emperor, empress. Exactly. Very good. Queen is for a particular country. Empress means of the whole world. She's the empress of the whole world. Yeah. And she entered Hastinapur as the empress. And the next day, because of what has happened in the Kurusabha, she was declared a slave of whom? Of the Kauravas. And we all know what kind of humiliation she was subjected to. Yeah. And the kind of trauma that she has been through is unimaginable. For a person who is, in Gita we study this, right? For a person who is respected, for the person who is honored, dishonor is worse than death. Yeah. And she's not only queen, the empress. Can you imagine the amount of respect that she had received as an empress? Her hair has been washed by the purified waters. It's called the Avabhrid Mangal Snana. That hair was held in such a brutal way by Dushasana. And Mahabharata describes the details of the amount of brutality that has been shown to her. Yeah, she was appealing for justice. She was appealing for somebody to spell out what is dharma in this situation. Nobody heard her. Nobody answered her questions. Yeah, and she was just dragged with her hair. Can you imagine in the open assembly of, elders? Such an assault, such a humiliation, such a pain, such a tremendous trauma, which nobody could have ever gone through. Yeah, despite all that, after going through all that, she didn't express herself to anyone so far. And after that, having come to the forest, and when she met her, family members from the Pachala, she just wept some tears. But when she saw Lord Krishna, coming back to the point, when we have deep anguish and, having been treated so badly, and then we go in front of Krishna, what's the first thing that comes out? Why did you do this to me? Yeah, I'm your devotee. Yeah. But how does Draupadi begin her conversation? She began her conversation with verses and verses of glorification of Krishna. Glorifying Krishna's position. Oh Krishna, you're the supreme controller, you're the maintainer, you're beyond the three modes. Yeah. From you comes virtue. You're the maintainer of dharma. She glorifies with amazing words, with eloquent words of glorification. And after it's almost, in Mahabharata, there are almost 2 pages filled with this glorification in this intense situation. After offering these respects, then she begins to express her pain. My dear Krishna, I am, the wife of the Pandavas. So I'm born not in an ordinary way, but in an extraordinary way. That is, Draupadi is born from the fire. She's not, it's not an ordinary birth. And above all, I am your friend. So with all of this credential, why was I subjected to this? It just says, fee upon the Gandiva of Arjuna and fee upon the Gada of Bhima. Nothing could save me when I was in need. Saying that, she opens her heart and she cries in front of Krishna. And Krishna is now you might get a question. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He could do anything. So he didn't show his godly opulence. Draupadi approached Krishna in the relationship of a friend, and Krishna also reciprocated to her just as a friend. Krishna says that, oh Draupadi, I am sorry. Imagine when God says sorry. Yeah. So she related to him in the relationship of a friend, and Krishna also reciprocated in the relationship of a friend. He put aside his godly opulence. Yeah. And he said that, if I would have been there at Hastinapur that day, this would not have happened, for sure. I would have somehow stopped this. But I was in a war with Samba, so my physical presence became impossible. And she says, and Krishna not just consoles her, and he promises her, Draupadi, please know, whoever has made you cry, whoever has made you cry, the wives of those persons will soon cry because of the death of their husbands. And he says, I promise you this, that you will be the empress, the queen of your kings. And soon, this is going to happen. And he says, I promise you this, the heavens may fall, the Himalayas may split, but my promise will never break. And I will do you justice. Saying this, Krishna gives that ashvasan, affirmation, reconciliation, and he comforts her as a good friend. So this is this beautiful relationship that is shared between Lord Krishna and Draupadi, that of a friendship. So we all like that, we all needed someone to be ourselves with, right? Someone with whom we don't have to add filters when we want to share our heart. Yeah? Someone who can really hear us without any judgment. So for Draupadi, that was Krishna. And when she really wanted him, he was really present to her in that relationship, exactly of that of a friend, not like that of a god. Although she acknowledged his godly position, she still approached him through friendship. Can you understand this beautiful? That's why Krishna is Rasaraj. Yes, that's how he has reciprocated with her. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam statayva bhajamiham. In whichever way you approach Krishna, Krishna reciprocates accordingly. And this is understood by, connoisseurs of bhakti. Somebody who understands bhakti rasa, the mellows and sweetness of devotion, really understand the sweetness of this exchange that took place between Krishna and Draupadi here at Kamyavan. So this is the relationship that Krishna shared with Draupadi. So Draupadi's position is very, very special. Many poets have written extensively about Draupadi. In fact, even Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam begins with Draupadi's forgiveness of Ashwatthama. She was the first personality. When there is a Krishna Karanamrit written by Bilva Mangal Thakur. Even in these poetic verses, he glorifies Draupadi. We'll just recite this verse together. It's very sweet. Agre kuruna mata pandavanam Dushasanena hrita vastrakesha Krishna tadakroshadhananyanatha Govinda damodara madhaveti. Somebody can read the translation. If you have the mic.
Before the assembled Kurus and the Pandavas, when Dushasana caught her hair and clothing, Krishna, having no other lord, cried out, Govinda, Damodara, Madhava.
Yes. So this is one of the verses of the second one. Durvasaso vakyamupetya Krishna Sacha bravit kananavasinisham Anta pravishtam manasa juhava Govinda damodara madhaveti.
Accepting Durvasa Muni's request that she fed his thousands of disciples, even though she hadn't the means to do this, Draupadi mentally called out to the Lord within, the Lord of a forest dweller like her, and she said, Govind, Damodar, Madhava.
Hari Bol. So this was how Draupadi called out for Krishna. So this was that pastime. Okay, so that's about R. So D for Drupad, R, Rasaraj Krishna. A stands for Arjun. Yes. Let's try to understand that beautiful relationship Draupadi shared with Arjuna. So there is, towards the end of Mahabharata, there is something called the Mahaprasthanam. It is all the Pandavas, go towards the Himalayas, to finish their life and ascend to the higher realms. So this is called the Svargarohana Parva of Mahabharata. So during that time, they were going in a sequence. Like first there was Yudhishthira. Who was next to Yudhishthira in birth? Bhim. After Bhim, Arjun. After Arjuna, Nakul. After that, Sahadeva. So they were 5 walking in a straight line, and behind behind Sahadeva was Draupadi. And behind Draupadi, there was a dog that was following them. Yeah. So all of them were walking all the way up. So because Krishna had left the world, immediately Yudhishthir Maharaj said, I renounce my throne. He crowned his, the grandson of Lord Krishna, Vajranab, as the king of Mathura. Yeah, and also Parikshit Maharaj, who is the son of Subhadra. He has given the kingdom, and he left and to leave the world. Yeah. And at that time, all 5 of them were walking towards the Himalayas, along with Draupadi. So when they were walking, they left the Himalayas and they reached another realm. Yeah, that realm was called, it's beyond the Himalayas, it's not within the earthly realm. So as they were walking, Draupadi was the first one to fall down. Yeah, actually this ascent is that in the very same bodies they wanted to ascend the higher realms. Yeah, one who has lived a life of 100% dharma can actually ascend the higher realms in the self same body. So this was called the Mahaprasthana, okay, the journey to the higher planets. So when they were all ascending to the higher planets, Draupadi was the first one to fall down. Then Bhima asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, "Oh brother, Draupadi is the most chaste queen. She was, all the qualities that you spoke about. She was so pure and she always stood for dharma. She's such an excellent lady. Why is that she fell down first amongst all of us?" So Yudhishthira Maharaj, who is Dharmaraj, personification of dharma, he answers, "Yes, what you said is true, but Draupadi had internally a sense of partiality for Arjuna. So, but being a wife of all five of us, because she had that partiality, that was the reason she is the first one to fall down." So Dharmaraj told in very unequivocal words that this is the reason that she has fallen down. But let us analyze this. What is the very seed of Draupadi's birth? Yes, what was the very seed of Draupadi's birth? I told you at the first, in her relationship with Draupadi Maharaj. What was the seed of her birth? Yes, Draupadi Maharaj's intense desire that she gets married to Arjuna. That was the very seed of her birth. Please listen this carefully, because these are the popular controversies that are prevalent all over. People have heard of Draupadi in so many controversial ways. So that is the very reason I had to write this book, which is pure Vyasadeva's Mahabharata. So Draupadi was born because of the appreciation of Draupadi Maharaj for Arjuna. So it was natural, and during the Swayamvara, it was Arjuna who won her. So she had this natural inclination for Arjuna. So she was ever very much true to her heart. But externally, she has served everybody equally. But internally, she had this inclination. Yes. So some acharyas explain that although apparently she was the first one to fall down, but in the real sense, she was the first one to reach the higher realms. So that is the position of Draupadi. And we would not understand this unless acharyas explain it. We just think of it that yes, she had partiality. Yes. So if somebody questions this, this is the answer for that. Yeah, that she was simply true to her heart. Yes, and her qualities have pleased none other than Lord Krishna himself. So what more is needed? So that's the reason she is the first one to ascend the higher realms. So that was, this is that picture of Swargarohan. Yeah, you see Draupadi fallen there. And the dog that was chasing. Yes, and also there's this nice episode of Draupadi blessing Subhadra. Yeah. So after Arjuna goes on a short exile because of breaking one of the policies, and when he returns with the co-wife of Draupadi, that is Subhadra. So initially she was very upset. Okay, that how is this? How could he do this? But at that time, Arjuna, he's very expert. He goes and tells Subhadra, "Oh Subhadra, Draupadi is a very, very, chaste lady. Yeah, and whatever a chaste lady utters becomes factual. So approach her with a mood of humility and take her blessings." So initially Draupadi was in pain. She was so upset with Arjuna. But when Subhadra approaches her with humility, she immediately embraces her and she blesses her. She blesses her saying, "May your husband be without a rival, and may you be mother of a great son." So this is the wholehearted blessings. Imagine in today's relationship, if somebody, they go against us, what's the first thing that comes? Curse. Yes. We won't let that person survive only. Yeah. I mean, forget something as extreme as this, a little bit of, here and there about our expectations. We can't handle it. Until they align with our expectations, we fight such a cold war. Isn't that? Yes, this is strength of Draupadi's character. What kind of internal strength it takes to be the person who Draupadi is. Yeah. And yeah. So, and also there are very beautiful episodes in the Mahabharata which speak about Draupadi's exchanges with Arjuna. When they go on an exile and, Vyasadev comes and tells that, all of you should go and acquire celestial weapons to fight against the Kurus. They're very powerful because on their side is none other than Bhishma and all of them. So you also have to build your strength. So this, he suggests Arjuna should go to the Himalayas and acquire these celestial weapons. So at that time when Arjuna was leaving towards the Himalayas to acquire the celestial weapons, the topic that I'm telling you here is words of farewell. Yeah, words of farewell. So this is very, very important, very beautiful, very touching. So at that time, when Arjuna was leaving towards the Himalayas to acquire the Pashupatastra and all these weapons, Draupadi tells one thing. She says, "Oh Arjuna, my grief of separation from you is more painful to me than the humiliation I suffered in the Asat Sabha." This explains that actually Draupadi calling out for war is not her personal vengeance. Yeah, she tells, my grief of separation with you is more intense than the pain of my humiliation at the Asat Sabha. And she says, but please know that as long as you're away from us, we will know no enjoyment. And we will simply wait for you, just reminiscing your heroic deeds. This is what is, one of the Nari Bhushana is, the ornament of a woman is beautiful speech, sweet speech. Yeah. So Draupadi's speech was amazing. Actually, in the drama, she was depicted as a very ferocious lady, but Draupadi's speech is very, very sweet. At the same time, very assertive. Yeah, the assertiveness is depicted, but at the same time, she was also very, very sweet in her speech. You have to read some of her dialogues, some of the words that she speaks. So she says that, and she tells Arjuna that, we await you, we await your return. And true to that word, until Arjuna returned, they were all performing austerities, doing penances, and also discussing about Arjuna until he returned. Like they go all the way to the Gandhamadana mountain and wait for Arjuna on that. So Draupadi also personifies sweet speech. Yeah. So generally, if somebody is going out for something high and we are left alone at home, we say, we try to put on some show that, hey, I'm enjoying better than you. Yeah. So this is Draupadi who, make the other person feel very, very nice. Okay, what is U? U stands, so A stands for Arjuna. So I just explained some of her exchanges with Arjuna. What does U stand for? Okay, Yudhishthira. I think I've shown you the next slide. So Yudhishthira. So how much time do I have? 15 minutes. Okay. Yudhishthira. So this is, please be very attentive because this is the source of so many questions. What is a famous question everybody asks? Why? Yes. Yeah, that question which is haunting people since 5,000 years is what? Why did Yudhishthira stake his wife in the gambling match? Yes, why did he do that? Kyun daav pe lagaya? Yes, this is a famous question. How many of you know the answer for it, a convincing answer for it, or do you still have that question? How many have it as a question? Okay. Okay, that's a very big number. Okay. How many of you have a convincing answer? You have a convincing, okay, only one girl has a convincing answer to this. Okay. So let me hear your answer. So before that, I will tell you a phenomenon. Okay, in research, there is something called meta-analysis. Meta-analysis means any fact should be analyzed from different dimensions. Yeah, you should take the support from different published works. That is called meta-analysis in research. So Yudhishthir Maharaj as a person, you know what his personality is in Mahabharata. But to know the true personality of Yudhishthir Maharaj, refer to Srimad Bhagavatam. Refer to Srimad Bhagavatam. Who is Yudhishthir Maharaj? He's such a great and pure devotee of Krishna. And I'm very sorry to say that I have read so many versions of the book of Draupadi written by so many, but many of them had unfortunately portrayed Yudhishthir Maharaj as a villain, which is so untrue, very untrue. In fact, when Draupadi was amidst such crisis, she says, I do not blame my husband for this, for what is happening. It is all of you who are at fault and not him. Okay, so let us hear from her what is the convincing answer that she has. Why did Yudhishthir Maharaj stake Draupadi? Yes, what is your answer? Please give her the mic. Okay, what is the answer? Why?
Hare Krishna Mataji, it's not convincing, it's my opinion just. So,
no, okay. Fine, go ahead, yes.
It's all Krishna's plan that the Kurukshetra war has to happen, so he has done like that, like organized it in such a way that Yudhishthir has kept her like that.
Okay.
It's my opinion, Mataji, not convincing.
So that's why I asked what is a convincing answer. You cannot explain this way. And, yeah. Yes, but I appreciate your sentiment of the higher power operating. But yeah, that is fine. That is why he has accepted to be a part of the gambling match. Yeah. Why did Yudhishthir Maharaj agree for the gambling match? Yes, because Vedavyasji has predicted that it is through Yudhishthira that the whole Kula is going to collapse. That is why he takes a vow that I will never be disrespectful to my elders, and whatever they say, I will always agree. He takes a vow. That is why he says yes, despite yes. Anybody else has an answer? Okay. So Vedavyas ji has in his book of Mahabharata, there's an analysis which is given by poets, of many centuries ago. There is a 6-page analysis to this question. Why did Yudhishthir Maharaj take Draupadi? How many page answer is this? 6-page. So it's a super essay question. Yeah, takes a long time. So you can refer that in my book. I have concisely explained it. The many reasons why actually this whole thing took place. But I wouldn't go to the details of it because it would take a long time. But I would talk about it in a brief way. First thing is, it is natural to misunderstand Yudhishthira. Okay, even Bhim himself has misunderstood him. He was enraged. And he in fact said that, I want to burn those hands of yours. Yeah. So Bhima, one of his intrinsic character is, he never, his dharma was to simply follow his brother. He didn't know any other world other than, just to simply follow the orders of his brother Yudhishthir. And such a sold out brother himself said that, I want to burn those hands, which played the dice and staked Draupadi. So if Bhima could misunderstand, we are not some great exceptions. We all have the tendency to misunderstand. But there's a very, very technical answer that explains why this happened. Yeah, in fact, it was one of the protective measures. The Yudhishthir Maharaj, all through the gambling match, he he knew what was happening and he tried to protect Draupadi in a very, very subtle way. That is why he loses himself first. Yeah, he stakes himself first and he loses himself first in the gambling match, and then he gets into a situation where even after he loses Draupadi, see, the way he has lost the Pandavas is different from he lost Draupadi. That is why the Pandavas had no right to speak in the Kuru Sabha. After they were lost, after they became slaves, none of the Pandavas spoke. But it was only Draupadi who had the right to speech. This was because Yudhishthira lost her after he lost himself in the gambling match. So this was one of the way he actually played a subtle trick with Shakuni so that, Draupadi is protected. And this fact only Draupadi understood what he did. And that is why even though when she was dragged into the Kuru Sabha, the first thing she says is, I do not blame, and Yudhishthira Maharaj remains my worshipable husband. Quite different from what we see on the serials. Yes? Right? Yeah. So that is why I say, very important to understand the authentic story, the real story. It is so different from what we know. Yes, she always maintained that demeanor of respect. And she was always aligned with Yudhishthira Maharaj and all the Pandavas. Like they were all individually fighting their own battle. And Draupadi was fighting her own battle. And everybody was fighting one single battle, the battle of Dharma. And they were all fighting in their own ways. So for details, I would highly suggest read the book because it's a very long explanation. I just gave a crisp explanation. So what is this picture? Who is the person in the picture? Amar Chitra Katha. None of you had read. Who is the person? Who are the people in the picture? Any guesses? What is this scene? He's not Suryadev. Yeah? Karna, no. It's not that Ratha. It's not the Kurukshetra war. You see behind, what is there? White snowy mountains, right? So it can't be Kurukshetra. Indradev, excellent. So which episode is this? Yes. Yeah, this is that Swargarohan Par. And all others have fallen down, all the 4 Pandavas. Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, Draupadi, everyone has fallen down. It's only Yudhishthira Maharaj who could go with his body. So please listen attentively. So Indra comes. So as Yudhishthira Maharaj was ascending towards the higher realms, soon he sees a beautiful chariot, a golden chariot that was slightly above the ground. So Indra's chariot is actually flying one. And from that, Indra comes out and he invites Yudhishthira. Oh, Yudhishthira, the son of Dharma. See, the higher realms are waiting for you. And he says, you can come, but you just leave the dog. So Yudhishthira says, it is following me all through. How can I leave? It has taken shelter of me, so I cannot leave the dog. Then to test him, Indra says, if you want to bring the dog, you are not allowed into heavens. Then Yudhishthira says, I wouldn't mind forsaking my entry into heavens than to forsake a person who has followed me all through. Yeah, this was the character of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So at that time, Indra being so highly pleased, he says, so as soon as Yudhishthira says that, the dog, disappears and becomes Dharma personified. And he says, oh Yudhishthira, it's only a person like you who can forsake heavens for the sake of a dog. Yeah. So saying that, the dog disappears and Indra welcomes him to the heavens. At this time, very beautifully, Yudhishthira Maharaj asks Indra one thing. So when Indra says the heavens are awaiting you, Yudhishthir Maharaj says, I want to go to that place where that beautiful lady of supreme intelligence, yeah, of fine make, Draupadi, where she is staying, that is where I want to go. So this is Yudhishthir Maharaj. I know. So you blame him so many times, but this is the love she had. He said that when he said heavens are awaiting you, I wouldn't want to go to that place where my brothers are not there and where Draupadi is not there. In fact, this expression repeats twice or thrice in this entire episode. Whenever he was called for the heavens, he said, no, I want to go to that place where my brothers are and where Draupadi is. So where they are is heaven for me, where they are not there is hell for me. So this is their, companionship, their camaraderie they shared. So this is the relationship Yudhishthir shared with Draupadi. Okay, so U is for, Yudhishthir Maharaj. Then what is P? P stands for Pandavas. Yes. So this is the episode of, anybody knows what is this episode? Jayadratha kidnapping Draupadi. Yeah. So when Jayadrath, who is Jayadrath? Wonderful. Yeah, the husband of Dushala. Yes. Dushala is the only sister of the Kauravas. Yeah. Her husband is Sindhuraj Jayadrath. So he comes one day to the forest. He was just on his way to some royal wedding. And from a distance he sees Draupadi, who was in a hermitage. At that time all the Pandavas were away. The moment he sees her, he was like wonderstruck, with the beauty that he has seen. He was so captivated. He was maddened. Yeah. So he approaches her and, he actually kidnaps her and takes her away in a chariot. So when he takes her away in the chariot, all the while, she kind of resists and says, you're digging your own grave. You do not know. You're not knowing your fate, what is going to happen when the Pandavas are, they know of this. And during this time, when he actually takes her and they go some distance, at that time Pandavas get to know that, something is happening. They understand that she's been kidnapped and they chase. And when they chase, Jayadratha is like going on the chariot here. This is the picture. He's going on the chariot and he's taking Draupadi away. At that time, from a distance, he hears a loud scream. So that is Bhima screaming from there. Yeah, Bhima screams saying that, stop. So when he says stop, it just, everybody like literally becomes deaf. So then Jayadratha asks, so the 5 people you're describing about, are they the ones who are coming behind? Draupadi then begins a character sketch, of each of the Pandavas. Said, yes. Can you tell me who are they who are coming behind us? Then she starts telling. So that person who is tall, who is fair, yeah, who has a long nose, and whose flag has Nanda and Upananda, yeah, who stands for virtue, that person is Yudhishthir Maharaj. You better surrender to him now itself, because any person who takes shelter of him, he vows to protect him. If you don't surrender to him now, then you have lost all your chances. Then behind him, do you see a person, his face, who is like a, huge shala tree. His eyebrows are knitted and frowning. Yeah, and the one who's biting his lips. Yeah, that person whose enemy can never survive, and who, after taking revenge, also is not pacified. Yeah, hearing whose name all the enemies shudder. That person is Bhima. So the moment Jayadratha hears this introduction, sweat starts dripping from his, chin. Then she starts describing about, Arjuna, then Nakula and Sahadev. So hearing this itself, Jayadratha understands what's happening and he leaves Draupadi there and he goes away. Yeah, just the introduction of Pandavas was sufficient for him to, understand his folly, their greatness. So in this way, Draupadi had such appreciation of the character of each of the Pandavas. And especially she had a special relationship with Bhima about, when there was nobody to help her, when Kichaka was harassing her, it was to Bhima, she goes and opens up her heart and reveals her pain. And she tells that tomorrow either Kichaka should be alive or I should be alive. So after sufficiently, giving that push to Bhima, then Bhima says, don't worry, go back home, go back to your room. So Draupadi understands the job is done. So the next day, Bhima goes, and the way he kills Kichaka is very beautifully described in Mahabharata. Just seeing the way he kills Kichaka, that word spreads far and wide and it reaches the Kauravas. And when they heard that this Kichaka has been killed this way, then they understand, okay, that is only Bhima. So Pandavas are there in that Viratanagar. So this is a period of incognito, like where they were not supposed to reveal their identities to anybody. So till the last moment, their identities were not revealed, but the way Kichaka was killed and the news spread far and wide and it reaches Duryodhana, and then he understands, okay, that should be Bhima and the Pandavas are there in that place. So this was Draupadi, how she previously we spoke about sweet speech with Arjuna. And in this episode, we see her assertive speech. So there are people who say that, Vedic women had no voice, right? But Draupadi was quite assertive in what she wanted. So when Jayadratha was made captive, Yudhishthira Maharaj says, forgive him because, he's the husband of our only sister Dushala. But Draupadi says, one who has tried to harass the wife of another husband is not permitted of forgiveness. I want this person. So that's when Bhima chases after Jayadratha, packs him like a sack of grains, puts him on the rath and throws it at Draupadi's feet. He tells and asks her, what do you want me to do with him? She was very assertive about what she wanted. So that was a time then Bhima, when he asks her, what do you want me to do? She tells, forgive him. Yeah. And again in this episode of Kichaka, when Yudhishthira Maharaj says that you have to wait until the incognito period is over, Draupadi says, I want justice tonight itself. Yeah, he has to be killed tonight itself. If not, I will not live. So in this way, she used her assertive speech to clearly communicate what she wanted. Yes. So that's how P stands for the Pandavas. So this is a very, the Kichaka Vadha is also a part of cultural, exhibition, like the Kathakali. You see this dance? What dance is this? What dance form is this? Kathakali. Yeah, in Kathakali art form, or dance form, Kichaka Vadha is one of the very famous episodes and performances. Okay. Okay, then what does the next A stand for? Yes, now comes the dark side. Yeah, A stands for Ashwatthama. So there are so many stories about Ashwatthama that he's alive, etc., etc. So, but then Ashwatthama, what is his relationship with the story of Draupadi? He killed all the 5 sons of Draupadi very brutally. Yeah, when they were asleep in a camp. Yeah, it was such a brutal murder that it was not acknowledged by even Duryodhana himself. Yeah, even Duryodhana did not validate this murder. So it was such a brutal murder. So A is that Ashwatthama, and Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about the glorious quality of forgiveness of Draupadi. yeah, such a brutal murderer, when he was brought as a captive by Arjuna, Krishna asks Draupadi, what should he do? Should he kill him or leave him? So this is where it's a solid example to say that in the Vedic period, especially Lord Krishna himself asked for the opinion of a woman. Most of the people say in Vedic times women had no voice, they had no opinion. Krishna himself has asked the opinion of Draupadi. Isn't it? That's such a predecessor. That's such a evidence. So Draupadi says that please forgive him. Yeah. Why should he forgive him? She gives many reasons. Because he's the son of a Brahmana. Yeah. Of Drona. Yeah. So he should be forgiven. So that is A for Ashwatthama. Then what is D? Another D. Yeah. Duryodhana, Dushasana, Drishtadimna is positive. We finished. We're speaking about the negative characters. We finished the positive characters. Huh? Dhritarashtra. Exactly. D for Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, Dushasana. So it is said that if only if, when this unfortunate scene of Draupadi being disturbed, when it was happening right in the presence of Dhritarashtra, if only Dhritarashtra would have stopped his sons, if only he would have, been hard and been very assertive, saying, Duryodhana, no, don't do this. This is not good. If only he would have taken that stance, the Kurukshetra war would not have happened. So one of the causes of Kurukshetra war is the silence of Dhritarashtra when he was supposed to speak. Somebody was telling, what do we know about Draupadi? What does she remind of? Somebody said that, she's the cause of the Mahabharata war. No, she was instrumental. But the cause was the demoniac qualities of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana and Dushasana. Dhritarashtra's silence at the time when he was supposed to speak. Yeah, and of course, Duryodhana's adamance and Dushasana's brutality. All these three together pulled in, and they have, they just sealed their fate, with these three qualities. So that was Dhritarashtra. And of course, Duryodhana. Remember this famous, yes, what was this episode? Duryodhana saying, yes, signaling such a humiliation. Yeah. No wonder. And this is whom? Dushasana. What do you see on the right side? It is said that when Bhima actually killed Dushasana and drank his blood, the soldiers around, they fainted, unable to digest the situation. So it was so gory, it was so gruesome, so fearsome. Yes. And after that, after Bhima killed Dushasana, he then kills Duryodhana. And when he killed Duryodhana, almost killed Duryodhana, very amazing that at that time when the whole Kurukshetra war was over, and the very last thing is terminating Duryodhana. And when Duryodhana fell upon the ground, what Bhima announces to the whole world is, behold behold the fate of these Kauravas, who are now demolished by the ascetic penances of Yajnaseni. Who is Yajnaseni? It's another name of Draupadi. What are the different names of Draupadi? Panchali. What is the meaning of Panchali? Yes. What is that? What is the meaning of Panchali? No. Yes. She is the queen of Panchaladesh. That's the meaning of Panchali. It's not Panch and Adi. No. Panchalis, she's the queen of Panchaladesh. What are the other names? Krishna. What is the meaning of Krishna? Yeah. She has the complexion of Krishna, that is, she is black, bluish black in her complexion. Okay, what's the meaning of Yajna Seni? Born from Yajna. Also, Draupadi Maharaj's another name is Yajna Sen Maharaj. That's why she's also called Yajna Seni. So, yes, so when Bhima kills all the Kurus, he gave the credit to the finances of Draupadi, although he is the one who did the whole job. He said, behold the fate of Kurus, who are all destroyed today by the ascetic finances of Yajnasen. He declares to the whole world. So that is D. Dushasan. Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan and Dushasan. You all see the slide. What is I? Her inner self. Yes, her inner self is what she is in her essence. So Draupadi, tell me some qualities that Draupadi stands for. You've started with some more. What you have learned from these? Patience, yes. Her inner self is made of patience. Assertive nature, yes. Tolerance. Yes. Pardon? Powerful, yes. She's powerful within. In fact, everybody, like most of the plays or writings depict her as a victim. But she's not a victim. She was one who fought, who stood strong. She never let victimhood touch her. Yeah. She saved herself. That's why it said that the one who rebuilt herself. She was powerful. What more are her qualities, her inner qualities? Yes? Yes, strong faith that Krishna will definitely protect me. Yes, faith. She depicts faith. But fine speech. Yes, Draupadi also represents fine speech. Yes, more? She's an ideal woman. Yes. Forgiving. Yes, that's an exceptional quality that is glorified even in Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma, she stood for Dharma. The life of Draupadi itself is, it is a hallmark of Dharma. She has won, Hall of Fame. In the Hall of Fame of Dharma, her name is eternally etched. She fought for Dharma. She stood for Dharma in the most trying circumstances. Yes, she stood for Dharma. So what else does she represent? Very caring. What makes you feel she's caring? Subhadra. Yes, she's very caring. Okay. Very motherly, in fact, yes. Yes? Pardon? Humble and compassionate. Yes. Can you give one instance what makes you say that? You want mine? Yes, it's a mic. Yes, you wanted to say something? Okay. Anything else? Anybody else? That's true. What you said is she's humble and compassionate. But how, in which aspect of her personality that is? I will tell you one example where she is very humble. So when this entire traumatic situation of Asat Sabha was happening and she was going through so much pain, when she was dragged through, she expresses herself and she says, all the elders were sitting there, like Bhishma, Vidura, and all of them. She says, just forgive me for one thing. Because I'm in this situation, I'm unable to offer proper respects to all of you. So this was, Draupadi's inner essence of how much she was respectful to elders. Yeah. Okay, any other? Empathic. Okay, what makes you think she's empathic? Yes. Excellent, yes. She was empathizing with the mother of Ashwatthama, Kripi. I have gone through this pain of my sons being brutally killed. Another's mother should not go through the same. Yes, so she was empathic. Okay, so these are just a bunch of the oceanic qualities of Draupadi. And so I will just end this here. And so I'll just summarize what I have spoken. So I spoke about Katha Tattva, the difference about, what is the difference between knowing about the general biographies and understanding the character of somebody like Draupadi from the scriptures. I explained this through the Katha Tattva of Mahabharata. And I explained how, the sense of accomplishment for women comes from the relationships that she has around her. And Draupadi is that emblem of very successful, strong and beautiful relationships. So initially we saw all the positive relationships she had. That is, D stood for Drupada. R, Rasaraj Krishna. Yes. A, Arjuna. U, P, A, D, Dushasana and Dhritarashtra. And I, her inner self. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So, any questions?
Any questions anybody has? I think this has been one of the only longest Chetana we've ever had. So I'm sure everybody was enchanted to learn more about Draupadi. So any questions? Yeah, we have in the last. Can everybody please stand if you all have questions? The mic can be passed on.
So I must actually, before the questions, I must congratulate the audience because you all sat through with such interest, such absorption. I see every one of you really hearing. So all glory is the personality of Draupadi, who is, so amazing. So, yes, any questions?
In the meantime, we would request the kirtan team to please come in the front.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Yes. I think the mic is not functioning.
That one should work. That one is working. There's a red button there. Press the button. Hari bol. Hari bol.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the beautiful lecture you gave. Mataji, मेरे पास एक क्वेश्चन था. मैंने लेक्चर्स एक पर्टिकुलर लेक्चर में ये सुना था कि द्रौपदी ने जब जैसे ये बताया गया है कि लेडीज़ बहुत फ्लो में चले जाते हैं. तो जैसे द्रौपदी का एग्जांपल ये बताया था कि जैसे द्रौपदी ने को पूछा गया कि अश्वत्थामा के बारे में जब उसने वो गलती की थी, जो उन्होंने पहली गलती की थी, तो उन्होंने उनको जैसे पांडवास के बच्चों को मार के ये गलती के लिए उन्होंने बोला कि इसे माफ़ कर दो, क्योंकि वो जैसे आपने बताया कि वो शिष्य है उनके गुरु के, इसलिए उन्हें माफ़ कर दीजिए.
Yes.
पर जैसे वो लेक्चर में बताया गया था, तो इसलिए उन्होंने जो माफ़ कर दिया, तो वो माफ़ नहीं करना चाहिए था. अगर वो नहीं करती माफ़, तो आगे जाके अभिमन्यु की जो वाइफ थी
उत्तरा।
या सॉरी, हाँ, तो
Yeah,
उत्तरा को
the
ये नहीं
Brahmastra.
किया जाता,
Yeah.
तो माफ हर बार नहीं करना चाहिए और लेडीज बहुत फ्लो में चले जाते हैं, तो दिस वाज द थिंग आई वांटेड टू आस्क अबाउट, हाउ
Yes.
कैन वी टेक दिस? जैसे हमें बहुत पता है कि द्रौपदी इतनी आइडियल थी, शी वाज द वन वी हैव टू फॉलो एवरीथिंग, बट देन दिस थिंग आई कुडंट डाइजेस्ट व्हेन दिस वाज टोल्ड, सो कैन यू प्लीज?
Very good question. Yes. So, as you said, Draupadi is a woman we should follow, but not imitate. So, there's a difference between the two. Yeah. And this is a very popular question that has been asked number of times in Bhagavatam, that why, like, yes, Draupadi's forgiveness, on one side, it has been glorified by even Lord Krishna. You know, that's such an exalted forgiveness, that to forgive the murderer of your sons, it's not something so easy. It's not easy at all, and that to being empathic. But on the other hand, Prabhupada also explains in the purports that women have this sensitive nature. And because of her forgiving Ashwadhama at that point of time, he went ahead and again hurled the Brahmastra into the womb of Uttara to actually assassinate the last surviving heir of the Pandavas, that is Parikshit Maharaj. So she shouldn't have forgiveness, and that is why women should always be accompanied by men, because men are stronger in their intelligence and they can see things ahead. But this forgiveness also is, this thought of forgiveness is aligned by even Yudhishthira Maharaj. Even he was for forgiveness. So it is not Draupadi alone. Yeah, this is called Vama Svabhava, technically. Vama Svabhava is that, you know, that really soft nature. So soft nature, although it is glorified, it should be essentially under the shelter of, husband. That's why they, Shastras speak about women being protected by father, as a daughter, and being protected by husband when married, because it complements. This soft nature has to be complemented with a protective nature. Then, there is a balance. If not, this soft nature would be exploited. So this is like what is exactly the purport speaks about. The soft nature should always be protected with the, complemented with the protective nature. That's when together it forms an ideal relationship. So that's the meaning of protection. So many times whenever I say women should be protected, it is always taken in the sense of, protection means, like, are we weak? Is that, so it's not about weakness, it's about softness. Softness is different from weakness. So whenever they're soft, they are precious. Whenever there is something precious, so you have a diamond necklace. Where do you put it? Safe. Yeah, in the locker. You don't leave it outside. It is protected. Protected because it is precious, not because it's weak. Yes? So that's what exactly is the meaning of, softness. Okay, I hope it answered. Haribol. Yes.
Anybody else?
Krishna felt indebted to how Lord Draupadi called. And we often hear that yes, Lord Krishna uses devotees as instruments, but it is little, kind of faith shakening, that until the point that she is in too much trouble, then Krishna came.
Yes, yes. So this is all. Okay, this is also a very popular question. Why is that Krishna had to wait until the last minute? Actually, the Mahabharata, if you read carefully, the moment Dushasan enters into the chambers of Draupadi, and tries to hold her vastra, that very moment she takes shelter of Krishna. Yes, it is, I mean, it has been dramatized. I mean, saying that she first took shelter of, she ran to Bhishma, then, Vidura, then the Pandavas, and she took help of her own strength. She held her pallu with her teeth, and when nothing worked, she just raised her hands, and then she surrendered to Krishna. No, Draupadi was a pure devotee of Krishna. Every moment she was taking shelter of Krishna. And also, as I said, the Mahabharata explains, the moment Dushasana holds her sari inside the chambers, that very moment she surrendered to Krishna. And the verse exactly, Hey Krishna, Hey Gopi Jana Vallabha. There is a verse also which speaks about how she is calling out to Krishna from that very moment. So your question is, so why is it faith shakening about that?
Because Lord Krishna took so much time.
So much time. Okay, so I think everybody has this, why should Krishna wait? But Krishna has also helped at the right time. Krishna's timing is perfect. Krishna's timing is perfect. There is no second question about that. So as long as, she was trying to fight the war of dharma, she was trying to inquire from everybody, giving the, trying to analyze what is dharma according to them. She asked Bhishma Dev, she asked Vidura, to explain what is dharma. None of them could do that. Yes. So when nobody stood for dharma, nobody could give a concrete answer of what dharma is, and Dushasana was, brutally attacking her, she surrendered. At that time she surrendered. And actually, when you read this chapter, the chapter 5 that I had written, it's a sequence of events that happen, which actually leads her to that particular situation, where she understands that, there is no other shelter, only Krishna, you are the shelter. It becomes a very helpless situation. Until then, she was fighting a war, trying to defend herself, by trying to speak for herself, by trying to stand up for herself. She tried her best in her capacity. And she understood nothing is going to work. Only Krishna can help me. So that there's a moment that comes where there is utter helplessness. Krishna, only you can save me. So when she reached that crescendo of helplessness and when she cried out, so Krishna immediately came. So Krishna's timing is perfect. And there is no question about that. And it is certainly not faith shakening, it is faith giving. Yes, and especially in the holy name of Krishna. Yes, Krishna may not, the holy name of Krishna is more powerful, more accessible than Krishna as a person. See, Krishna was not present, but she called out to Krishna and his name is not different from him, and Krishna manifested through that name and he saved Draupadi. So that is the glory of Krishna, and he acted on time. Yes.
Mataji, but still the question comes if a friend is there, then why the friend will wait for my utter helplessness? Why can't he say?
So you're mixing two things here. So you're really mixing two things here. You're talking about friend. Krishna is a normal friend. He was out there, in another war. So he expressed that helplessness also. When you called out to me, I was not there physically present. Yeah. So these two things should not be mixed. Yeah.
Explained about Yudhishthira, that how he was not brainless. He had, he was having.
He's a great
good.
devotee of the Supreme Lord.
But still, I'm just very inquisitive. I'm just very curious to know the other explanation. If you can just brief little about more, what is there in the book?
What is?
That 6 pages explanation. If you can just tell in 2 minutes.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay. So why okay. I'll just tell you a few technicalities. If Yudhishthira Maharaj would have to, he staked himself before he staked Draupadi. Okay, you got this point, right? And that is how staking Draupadi was different from staking the Pandavas. So because of this, what happened is, the property of, is of two types. Yeah. of the slave, the property of a slave is of two types. One is the property that he owned before he became a slave, and next is the property that he owned after he became a slave. Okay? And if he owned a property before he became a slave, then if he were won, then his master would have won his property also. So before he staked himself, if he would have staked Draupadi and if he would have lost it, then Duryodhana will have complete ownership over Draupadi, just like how he had over the Pandavas. So that is why Yudhishthira first lost himself. So Draupadi became the second type of property, that is the property that is owned by the slave, that is after losing himself. On that property, the master has not much of power. So that is why Draupadi asked Yudhishthira Maharaj that in the past, Nala was also asked to stake his wife, Nala Damayanti. Yeah, Nala was also asked to stake his wife, but he did not do it. Why are you doing it? Yeah. So this is a very technical question. So actually the answer to that is Shakuni foresaw. Shakuni is a super strategist. So he knew that, something like, Yudhishthira Maharaj would reject to stake Draupadi after he lost himself. So then what move Shakuni makes is, he says, Yudhishthira, if you win now, you can free yourself and Draupadi also. So when he puts this kind of condition, Yudhishthira cannot reject to stake Draupadi. There's so many technicalities involved in this. He cannot reject because he cannot say that because I am a slave, I don't have proprietorship over Draupadi, so I cannot stake. He cannot say that because Shakuni offered that if you win, you'll free yourself. So it's a conditional situation. So that is why Draupadi being staked here is not completely dharma, it is not completely adharma also. So this is called forced dharma. So that is why it has become a debatable question. And during this situation of forced dharma, Draupadi, that is why she asks everybody, what is my dharma in this situation? Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, I'm following.
Yes. So this is the reason why it was a very tricky situation. And that is why so many questions were answered, yet they remained unanswered. Because this is forced dharma. Not pure dharma or not pure adharma. It falls in between. It's like a tight knot to actually resolve. Yes. Read the book coolly, you'll understand.
So I think there are many questions, but what I think Mataji has solved most of the questions in the lecture. But if anybody has more questions, we have a special book here today. And what she's done for us is she's given a special discount. The book will cost us only 250 rupees today, and that is only for the Chetana girls. So everybody who has any questions, the answers are in the book. And of course, Mataji is with us today, so we are all going to trouble her with all the questions here.
Most welcome.
So we'll be having a small kirtan right now, and post that we'll be having prasadam in the Lakshmi Narayan temple. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much.
Let us thank Mataji again. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And we would request Mataji to please keep coming from Hyderabad again.
Hare Krishna. It's my pleasure. Hari Om.
Requesting the kirtan team to please begin the kirtan.
Very good. Very good.
Hare Krishna, Hare